Howdy everyone, welcome back to the Epoch Challenge. This is episode 8, and it has been over 5 months since our last episode. Sorry about that. We are currently standing in the spawn chunks of our world, a place that hasn't gotten much TLC in a very long time. You can see behind me I have removed our starter mob farm. It doesn't quite work as well as it used to back in the day, so I removed it. I might work more in this area, but it's not a high priority. But anyway, let's get to the actual progression that has happened since our last episode. We're going to head over that away. The museum district is right outside our spawn chunks, which are behind me. You can see the nice chunk boundary that we got. And this is our beta museum. It's gotten a little bit of refinement to the basement, and a lot of progress has happened in our top portion of the tower. You can see our alpha museum and a couple other buildings in the distance. Let's first check out what's going on in our basement. One thing to show is there are still some bugs in this early version of Minecraft. Doors don't function properly. We're gonna first pass some of our transmutation machines. I don't believe they work anymore, but this one used liquid to transmute. This was another piston one. Never got this one to work right. This one I did get to function pretty well. It was able to change different data values on blocks. You could change wool colors pretty easily. We also have our gravity duping machine. It could dupe sand and gravel at one point in time. And then these two beauties are 12-sided sticky and regular piston. These are probably some of my favorite creations in the world right now. Over here is the very first block duper that I created. This is a solid block duper that worked when pistons were first introduced. Over here we have some examples of redstone using pistons. Similar to what we did in the alpha build, I have a few other ones down there that are more complicated than just an OR gate. And over here is our zero stack creator. This little beauty works by you putting items into the crafting table and then allowing the player to get pushed by water into the nether portal. When you get pushed into the portal, it exits you out of the crafting menu and it drops the items that were in the crafting table and also a zero stacked item. Something we took advantage of earlier. I don't fully understand exactly how all of these redstone things work, but they are pretty fancy. On this floor, we have a few changes. These chests have been filled up with all the new items that are now available to us in the game, including potions. Our receptionist, the snow golem, has not updated into entity form, so that's pretty interesting. And over here, our early beta area hasn't really changed, but Doggo 407103 is still being a very good boy. And our roller coaster has been removed. I've changed it out for zero stacked items. Each of these chests has a version of the items and blocks available to us in a zero stacked form. What that ends up allowing is that these items can be used to duplicate. In the future, these items might be deleted. Something called the flattening might ruin it all, but that's a problem for future us. This next floor hasn't gotten much changed. This is dedicated to Beta 1.6 Test Build 3, when a bunch of debug items were left into the game. Do a quick scan through these chests. And upstairs, we've added more of the blocks that are placeable. You can see this stack has gotten pretty high. Even had to include a middle area so it didn't go too high up. We also have some overstacked and overenchanted items. Not many of them, but ender pearls were added and originally stacked to 64. Now they can only stack to 16. And when enchanting was first added, you could have fortune and silk touch on your tools. These were a huge hassle to get. Shout out to Minecraft Discontinued Wiki for having tools available to us to be able to figure out how to get these. I probably have some more things I want to do to this museum, but for now, I think it works. One thing I've had to be very careful about is this end portal. At certain points in time, the end was still in construction, and by going through here, you could actually ruin your end dimension. Right now, I'm still avoiding that. Maybe when we go to release version, we'll go to the end and beat up the dragon. It's been a while since we visited the Alpha Museum, but in 1.8, they updated the chest um, display to this 3D item, and it sort of affected our cursed chest that we created earlier. You can see when I open this, the inventory UI is a little messed up, and some of them are just straight up not rendering. But it does create some interesting aspects that I wanted to show. Other than that, everything else is basically the same. You can also visit our Infinite Development Museum. Inside here we have the items that were available in Infinite Development. There's a very select few of them available to us. Nothing's really changed over here. This is our Dynamics Museum for Infinite Development. When lava and water were implemented initially, they both went to 8 blocks long flow. These guys haven't changed. And obsidian wasn't created initially. This is still fine. I have to block up this area due to the doors being all glitchy. Don't want creepers or anything going in there and ruining our items. You might notice a little bit of work has been done shaping this floating island for our in-dev museum. I removed a little bit of a floating island here, shaped a little bit of this over here. Still a lot more work I want to get done, but for now it's alright. There's also a new building that's starting to come up. Let's go check it out. Still have a bunch of work to do on the cosmetics of this building, but the inside stores some wild blocks that are something that took a very long time and a lot of planning to get. Inside each of these chests are a bunch of tools with Feather Falling 1 on all of them. During one of the updates, any item enchanted didn't have the correct data value on it. So once you updated, all of the items would change over to Feather Falling 1. As you can see, I've gone through gold, iron, diamond, and done every tool and armor that I could get my hands on. We also did leather, chainmail, stone tools, wooden tools. The reason why I have so many of them is so that when anvils are added, we will be able to combine these and maybe make a Feather Falling 4 item. I also have some of these debug items that were available to us in another update. In this update, every time you died, you spawned with those items in your inventory. This one is a little bit special. I need to be careful because otherwise if I move my mouse too much, I might crash the game. This is that end portal that I showed off earlier in the beta museum. Currently, it's a little glitchy, but we have a bunch of them if we ever need them. Something else I should mention before we move on to our main base. Our TNT duping machine over here doesn't work anymore. Let me climb up there and show you what happened. In the last episode, I showed this working and duplicating TNT, but now when I flick this lever, a bunch of redstone moves around, pistons fire, but currently, this is not duplicating TNT. It's one of the downfalls to upgrading Minecraft. Things sometimes break and don't work. And with that, I'm not sure if there's anything else to show off here. I still want to make a potion brewing build, maybe over there. Maybe I'll hang it up in the sky. That's something for later me to do. And here is our mob farming complex. A lot of progress has been made here. As you can see, I removed that floor that was underneath all of our platforms. Removed also our passive mob spawning areas and any pillars related. I did create these little curvy parts for support. They look sort of like arms, and that sort of looks like a face. Didn't mean for that to happen, but I think it's pretty interesting. Let's head upstairs and check out how the new mobs are shuffled into an area and how it all works. You can see this spiral staircase is a lot more functional and easy to use. And here's the big reveal, our mob tube. I'm now able to come up here and manually farm these guys. Since they added XP, and I had to do all that enchanting earlier, there was a lot of XP grinding that I had to do. One really interesting aspect of this is that if I flick this lever, lava will come out, and any mobs that might have been on the platform get destroyed. Same with any items I might not need. Oh. I've spent many hours here, gathering XP and enchanting items. One of the new aspects to the enchanter, grab a tool to show this off. Do I have any? Yeah. The new enchanter can go past 30, and every time you put your tool in and out of the crafting or the enchanting grid, these change. This created a very frustrating situation when I was trying to enchant my tools. Ah! Yes! Finally! This has taken me over an hour and a half to click. Level 50 enchant. Let's see what we get. Efficiency 4. I could go into a lot of detail about enchanting and some of the updates that I've been through, but honestly, I'm not that big of a technical person, and if anything, there's better people for that. I'm going to take this moment to shout out Bugman CX and his Let's Play series called The Journey. He's doing an amazing job with going through every single detail and aspect of these updates. I would recommend following him if you haven't already. Anyway, back to our main base. As you can see, some things haven't changed. We still have our tree farm, our main structure, our little dock area over here. Our statues are still there, haven't added any new ones. But you might be able to see a little bit of stuff in the background that has changed. Let's go check it out. The first building to show off is our barn. Animals used to spawn and despawn just like aggressive mobs, but now they've changed it, so passive mobs will continue to persist. Due to that, I started collecting them and I created this barn. Upstairs we have our chickens, cows, and pigs. They were a little bit of a pain to get up here, since there's no leads or anything in the game. But they do follow with seeds and wheat, so it wasn't too difficult. Down here I plan to make multiple little sheep pens of each color. And over here we have our melon and pumpkin farms. Right now it's a little bit goofy. Every time I harvest them, I have to go back and re-till the ground. I don't believe melon and pumpkins grow on normal ground yet. That might have changed, but it definitely will change in the future. Our cactus farm is still going strong. So since there's no hoppers, I still have to manually come over here and collect them. Same with our automated sugarcane farm. Every now and then, a bud piston gets updated and will harvest these, and the excess sugarcane will come down here. They also added vines to the game, which is right over there. This area was our experimental area, where I experimented with different aspects of redstone and stuff. But I've changed that, so now this is just a nice little vine farm. I still have a really large storage area down here from back when we were duplicating gravel and sand. All of these chests are full of it for the future when I need gravel and sand in ridiculous quantities. The achievement building, dedicated to crafting and getting certain items to do achievements, mostly the same. The last thing to show off is the main base. I added this piston door, but as you can see, something broke in the redstone. And these levers, if I turn them in the wrong way, won't work. So that's why there's missing glass. This has to be replaced with something better. Not sure if I showed this off last time either, but we have a pig farm up here. Pigs will spawn on the grass up above due to a pig spawner that I placed. Wander down through this lava and end up dropping cooked pork chops for me to eat. Besides that, I've added a couple more of the items that have been added to the game to our storage system. And nothing else has really changed. Still have our bedrooms up here. And this area up here I have not quite figured out what I want to do with. I was using it for brewing, but I'm not sure if I'm too married to that idea. I also placed this end portal, which we will not be going to in this episode. Maybe next episode, we will go into the end and fight the end dragon. And on that note, that brings us to the end of this episode. I've updated you on all the progress that I've been doing, and hopefully in the next episode, we might even progress to Minecraft Release 1.0, where we have a whole lot more content to go through, and even some more discontinued and glitchy things to collect. Until then, you can always find me on Twitch or on YouTube streaming. I've been recently streaming Dinkum, a very fun, wholesome game that I've had a blast with. And every now and then I might play some variety games. I'm probably going to try to get back to Minecraft, especially after making this episode. There's more progress that I need to make in this world. But until then, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good day. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.